What's up guys, Coach Vass here. Thank you for joining me with OTF Audio Daily Beats. As always, if you're new, appreciate you tuning in, listening to me talk about these workouts. If you find value in them, information is in the description to support me. If you have any feedback, let me know how I could better assist you, give you more insight on these workouts. We're gonna break down Sunday, May 4th. This will also repeat on Friday, May 16th, right before All Out Mayhem. We're gonna see power on the treads, endurance on the rower, endurance on the weight floor. As always, we'll talk about the key concepts of the 2G, talk about the 3G as well, and then get you on out of here. So for the 2G today on the treads, we're gonna see two blocks. Block 1, efforts get shorter, meaning more intensity each time. Block 2 is short and powerful, all about all outs. On the rower, we're gonna have an 800 meter countdown challenge. Every round, you are chipping away at the 800 meter goal. And then on the floor, we have work and rest. You have 16 to 20 reps for each exercise without stopping. Talking about the treadmills here, we'll see two blocks. Block 1 is 18 minutes. We're gonna see work and a walk recovery. The walk recovery is always 90 seconds. Now the work will decrease. We're gonna start with a 3-minute push, and then we're gonna decrease the work by 30 seconds every round. So 3-minute push, 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 90 seconds, 1 minute, and 30 seconds. Now the key thing here is you start with a push, 2.5 minutes is push, then we're seeing a 2-minute push all out, 90-second push all out. Then the last two efforts, 1 minute all out, 30-second all out. Naturally, as we increase the intensities, members are gonna approach those levels of work naturally, especially if you think about the parameters of this. So starting off with that 3-minute push, power walkers, they're gonna be at a 4% incline or greater. Joggers and runners, realistically, they'll probably start about 1 to maybe 1.3 or so over their base. For the bikes and striders, I would keep them just right about 3 gears over base. That way they have room to grow later on. After that 3-minute push, they'll get a 90-second walk recovery. For a majority of people, that heart rate is definitely gonna come down pretty quick on that first round. You'll see a lot of people get into like a mid-range green or even blue, and that's a good thing. Today, we really wanna emphasize and educate the benefit of heart rate recovery, because you will have people who want to get back to base, encourage them to continue to walk, and challenge themselves to increase the intensity so that way the heart rate comes up even higher and it takes longer for it to come down during those walks, okay? Because if it recovers very quick, that's great. That means they have the opportunity to work harder and test themselves. I tell members if they're not comfortable going faster, they could always go higher. So, because I've spoken to some members who, they're on the older side and they just don't feel comfortable going faster over a certain speed. Totally fine. But hey, if you add incline, well, that's gonna increase the difficulty. It's gonna feel a lot more intense without having to go any faster. You will naturally step faster though because of that incline and their foot cadence having to pick up to match up with that. Now, so 3 minutes, we go 2.5 minutes. When we hit this 2-minute push all out, power walkers are anywhere from like 5 to 10% incline. Personally, what I would do is every round, have them try to add like 1.5 to 2% to the incline every round, or even potentially bump up their walk speed. For the joggers and runners, if they start, 1 to 1.3, see if they can add 0.2, 0.3 every round. Because by the time they get to that 1 minute all out, they will definitely be at least 2 over their base speed, if not more. For the bikes and striders, I would keep them at a 3 gear over base for those 3 minutes and 2.5 minute push. For the 2 minute and the 90-second push all out, probably 4, then 5 gears. And then of course for that 1 minute all out and the 30 seconds, 6+ gears. As always, make sure RPM stays 60 to 100. When they finish that 30-second all out, they get another 90-second recovery, opportunity to get back to base when they're ready before they go into the power focused block, where we're gonna see a total of 4 rounds, 30 all out, 45 walk recovery. For a situation like this, I like to have members reference the previous block. So, hey, what did you do for that 30-second all out? Can we start with that and then maintain it or build off of it? Especially knowing that the recovery is slightly longer than the work. So there's that opportunity to go another 0.1 faster. Looking on the weight floor side, 2 blocks here, 18 minutes for just the floor, and then 4 minutes and 15 seconds just at the rower. So for the longer floor block, we're gonna see a total of 16 to 20 reps of 5 different movements and this is a work and rest situation. We want them to complete their rep count for that individual movement unbroken, similar to strength in numbers, and then rest. Then they go to the next exercise. We're gonna start with a goblet position, alternating reverse lunge torso rotation. So with the dumbbell here, they'll step back, they'll rotate over that front leg, stand up tall, step back with the other side, rotate the other way. If you have benches out, step-ups are a great opportunity for options, so they still keep that unilateral work. Then they pair that next one is gonna be the reverse grip low row from the TRX. If they are aggressive on the body incline, meaning they are close to the wall and they're struggling to get up to 16 reps, have them keep working and walk away until they get to that rep range. When they do it again, maybe they start a little bit further away so they don't have to adjust mid-set. Rotational chest press, this is one of those newer movements. They're gonna start with the thumbs here, with the arms straight. As they lower down, thumbs go towards the armpits, working on retracting the scapula, kind of packing the shoulders down from that rotation. It also, if they do it right, forces the strap to stay off of them. By doing so, it incorporates more stability work, since when the strap makes contact with the body, that forces stabilization. But if the strap is off, they're gonna be all over the place. And that's kind of one of the underlying training principles of the TRX is that stability training. So we wanna try to keep the straps off of their skin, their shirts, as much as possible so they get that benefit of stabilization through the movement. We're gonna see dumbbell bridge, and then finally about 30 seconds of a bodyweight boat hold. Core work, if they're able to do 30 seconds or more, maybe have them try to do a hollow hold if they are familiar with that movement. With 18 minutes here, they will definitely get through at least 2, potentially 3 rounds. Because once again, just like strength in numbers that was recently done, most people get through about 2 rounds and they only had 14 minutes. Here we have 18, so definitely 2 rounds, maybe 2.5, 3-ish, okay? When the treads finally hit that 30-second all out, weight floor is done, wipe everything down, head to the rowers. This one's gonna be a unique situation. So they're gonna take off with the treads. They're using an 800-meter stored program, okay? When the treads do an all out, rowers are doing an all out. When the treads walk, rowers rack their handle. They have 10 reps of a squat to toe, and then row at their choice of intensity until the treads do their next 30-second all out. Most likely, after that all out row, they rack their handle, they stand up, they do their squats, they sit back down. It'll probably take them about 30 to 35 seconds. So realistically, they only have about another 5 to 10 seconds to get that water moving. And then when the treads hit that second, third, fourth all out, they start rowing. The big thing here though is they have 3 rounds for this sequence. So after that third squat to toe, they will then just row until they finish out their 800 meters if they're able to before time is called. If not, then obviously they're matching the treads with that last 30-second all out. If they finish their 800 meters, tap new interval, and then just row until that last 30-second all out row. So realistically speaking, the likelihood of most people getting through all 800 meters is on that lower end. If you take into account for a 30-second all out row, average person's gonna be probably about 120, 140 meters. And then that transition time, 5 to 10 seconds to row, so only another 10 to 15 meters. So every round they're only getting about like 150. So they might not get through all 800, and that's totally fine. See how much they can. If they do get over 800, awesome. They'll just obviously reset and then row until that last all out. Now, when we look at the 3G, same idea, 2 blocks, 8 minutes and 45 seconds, 75 walk recovery, and then the second block, 4 minutes and 15 seconds. That's gonna be for the treads and the rower. Weight floor, it is just 1 long block, and it is all 5 movements from the first block on the 2G. Looking at the treads, they drop the 3-minute and the 2.5-minute push. They're gonna start with the 2-minute push, but the walk recovery is cut in half from the 2G. So we have 45 seconds. So this template definitely should take the walks. Most people will, because you have the 2 minutes, 45 walk, 90-second, 45 walk, 1 minute push all out, walk, 45 all out, and then a 30-second all out. And then block 2, it is just like the second block of the 2G, so 30-second all out, 45 walk recovery for 4 rounds. When we look at the rowers, the goal here is to match or beat row time each round. They're gonna be doing 2 bodyweight movements. They have the 1, 2, 3 knee drive combo for 12 reps, and then the forward backwards shuffle for 12 reps. And then they're gonna do a 400-meter row, and the goal is to match that time or beat that time every time. So even though it's not quite 500, use split time as a metric to track the intensity for them to match, because if they keep their split time the same every round, then they're gonna finish about the same time. When they finish those 3 things, they take a rest, then they're back to the bodyweight movement. We'll definitely see 3-ish rounds through this block. And then the second block is set up just like the 2G. They'll have the 30-second all-out row, 45 seconds to do 10 reps, and then continue rowing until you call time for the next all-out. And as I said, for the weight floor, it is just like the first block on the 2G. So you got your 5 movements, 16 to 20 reps, do a movement, rest all the way through. They do have a different movement for the finisher though. We're gonna see the seated alternating oblique knee tuck. So this is the one when the legs are extended, they're out in front, they're leaning back. As they crunch in, they're gonna rotate. So they'll start here. They're gonna rotate to one hip as they pull their knees towards the chest. As they extend, they're on both hip bones. And then as they pull the knee in, they rotate and lift up the other side. So that's it for the workout for the 2G and the 3G for Sunday, May 4th, Friday, May 16th. Coach it down.